You know, based on what I saw from Taste of Chicago, especially during the fireworks, unless they do some major changes, which, of course, we're talking, 8 years from now, it would overburden the public transportation system. Just the point that traffic was backed up consistently. It was difficult getting out of downtown on the 3rd of July, that is. We had to wait up to an hour for a bus. So I think we really don't have the sufficient amount of buses and trains to support the Olympics at this point.
Welcome back to Political Update. I'm Paul Lisnick. We're looking at the Olympics coming to Chicago in 2016 and what some of the trials and tribulations and promises are offered in doing that. Let me reintroduce my guest to you. We have Mayor Gerald Bennett, the mayor of Palos Hills, but also chairman of the 2016 Olympic Regional Coordinating Committee, as well as being president of the Illinois Municipal League and chair of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. We know that as CMAP. Also joining us is the unrelated Dave Bennett, also a Bennett, of course, the executive director for the Metropolitan Mayors Caucus and doing all sorts of things to make sure all that happens that mayors need to do. And friend of our show, Karen McConnaughay, co-chair of the 2016 Regional Coordinating Committee and, of course, chair of the Kane County Board. I want to focus a little bit on the events themselves, where they're going to be. I think a lot of people think, well, we got Wrigley Field, we've got, Cellular Field. Is that where all this stuff is? Talk about some of the new venues.
I think when we talked in the past about the city setting this up within a 15-minute ride of any event from the Olympic Village for all the participants, there are going to be some events outside the metro area. I know an equestrian event up in Lake County. They're talking about Southwest by us, maybe a bike part of the
bike trails,
road race.
Road race. Yes.
And so, but more so, the impact to the region from a housing standpoint, but from a participant standpoint as far as being a fan, being one who can watch the games, go to the games, and the effect of our youth in the area.
And I want to ask you about that, Karen, because this does mean young people getting involved, invigorated, and maybe even a lot of at-risk youth who might see some hope.
Well, this is an opportunity. If we were to host the Olympic Games here in the Chicagoland region, that's an opportunity for our youth to participate. We see it when we do parades. There's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm, particularly with our young people who are, you mean this means I might get a chance to watch the Olympics? What a wonderful opportunity we have to offer our residents and particularly our youth.
And send a message about keeping fit.
Absolutely.
While we're sitting at McDonald's, Dave, actually, let me ask you, because there's actually two events that Chicago, the Olympics is getting all the attention and all of the focus, but yes, it's a double bid.
Yes, it is. The city of Chicago is also bidding for the Paralympic Games, which are for the disabled. And those games would occur about a month after the Olympic Games, so in about September of 2016.
And is it a separate, could we get one, not the other?
No, actually, as I understand it, the International Olympic Committee prefers that cities bid on both and not just on one. So.
Okay. And so, for example, in China, then the Paralympics will they be there?
I don't know if the Paralympics are going to be in Beijing.
Okay.
I think with 20,
so it doesn't have to be, but it is
and beyond, it'll
moving
be
beyond.
Both.
They're looking for.
Right.
What's special? And obviously, again, we're dealing with people who are disabled. That's a whole nother level of need and infrastructure because you're not only bringing the athletes there, but of course other disabled folks who want to come in and watch and participate.
Absolutely. And that's just another area that will have to be addressed. And I know Mayor Daley and the Chicago 2016 organization and our regional coordinating committee is planning on addressing those concerns.
Does CMAP focus in on those kinds of issues? Well, the ADA, really, I'm just going to call them ADA issues.
I think our region takes great pride, and certainly the construction that's taken place probably over the last 10 to 15 years to facilitate for the disabled, whether it's through trains, whether it's now through infrastructure, sidewalks, the ability for the disabled to get around. I think we've done a great job. And certainly the specialty items that would be needed in these games, I'm sure that the stadiums as they're built will include, ADA type of facilities.
I don't know if you know the answer to this, Karen, but the Olympics coming to Chicago has always been presented, as far as I know, as this is Mayor Daley's idea, his dream, his goal, his vision. But there's an awful lot of stuff going on among mayors and communities. So I don't know if you could, did Daley start all of this, or has there been a long time buzz for the Olympics, even in addition to the mayor's call?
You know what, I think Mayor Daley has got to get the credit for thinking regionally. He has always understood the importance of the region and that cooperation that works together. So the rightful credit goes to him for thinking that. But this region does think, everybody in this region understands the importance of working together to address whatever challenges that we have as a region, and frankly to seize whatever opportunities exist. So I think it's a combination of both things, but I think it really did start with Mayor Daley, who understood the value of that.
You know, Mayor, you mentioned earlier the Chicago being a world-class city and being a world stage. You know, we have Taste of Chicago. I mean, we have lots of different things that people know Chicago for. Maybe they come to Chicago for it. How does an Olympics event being hosted here, how does it and does it change what Chicago is?
Well, I think it could be as important as the Columbian Exposition in the late 1800s. The impact to this region, metropolitan region, that this Olympic game could play out. I mean, we pride ourselves in living in one of the greatest metropolitan areas in this country, and certainly to have that showcased internationally, I think is going to be a tremendous impact to not just Chicago, but to the metropolitan region, whether it's corporation relocation or whether it's eventually citizens, coming to our metro area. It's all part of the economic engine that we think we've got a great thing going now and could be even more fantastic after the games.
And Karen, let me ask you, as somebody who runs the Kane County Board and is concerned about business and growth, any fears at all that if we get the Olympics, there'll be this huge surge, but then after the Olympics, a pullout?
You know what, I think that anytime you have an opportunity to showcase your region on an international level, there is always going to be positives and benefits that come back to you. So I see nothing but value added to the Olympics coming.
Do you see also the suburban areas planning special events, special festivals, things that maybe don't exist right now to invite the world to our center stage?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an opportunity that I think we all understand the importance to seize. But, we're talking about it right now. We're talking about the 2016 Olympics at festivals and parades all through the region to build that enthusiasm and to really inspire some creative thinking on the part of our local business community in preparation.
Dave, does the attitude of the people in the community, the importance of stirring this kind of energy, does that matter to an Olympic community?
Absolutely. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why Chicago 2016 does the polling that it's been doing on a monthly basis, because the International Olympic Committee wants to see it demonstrated that a region supports an Olympics, that they're going to get behind it, that they're going to be enthused about it.
The tagline is "Stir the Soul."
And that may be saying it all.
Yes.
Let's look ahead to the future, the next steps. We know where we are. We're down to the final four, but it's a long time before we actually get the next step.
Yes, it is. As I mentioned earlier, the final bid document is being prepared right now. It's going to go to the printer in probably November, December timeframe, and then be submitted to the International Olympic Committee by the end of the calendar year. Then they will review the various bid documents, make some visits to host cities, potential host cities, and then make a decision by April 2009. So
April 2009, we'll know.
I'm sorry, October 2009. October 2009.
Okay, October 2009.
We'll know by October 2009.
If we are the city.
That's correct.
All right, cool. Well, then stay tuned. And y'all come back when we get it, will you? And then we'll kind of look at the next steps. Thanks for watching us. If you'd like to send us a message, all you have to do is go to our website at cn100.tv. And then you click on Political Update, and well, there we are. Feel free to send a message, some show ideas, some reactions to shows. If you have questions, I promise we will get back to you. I'm Paul Lisnick. Thanks for watching us here on Political Update. Bye-bye.